We just had an incredible Game 3 on Glittering Ashes in the semifinals between Bjorn and Hero. And if you're watching on YouTube, well, it released 2 days ago. If you're not watching on YouTube and you're watching live, well, you just saw it. So good job, you Twitch viewer. As we see Hero, Creator, excuse me, looking for the Macarax, which actually has fallen out of favor in TVP as of late. We're seeing it less. I still see it some, but I feel like at the highest level, the players that were pushing it like Bjorns and Ryungs, I don't see it quite as much. And certainly it was the build or the idea, because it was a ton of different builds. But it was the gameplay idea going into Katowice and throughout all of Katowice. And I'm sorry we could not continue the highlights until all 3 games, because the highlights probably took 20 minutes. Because there were just so damn many of them. Ah, what a series. That being said, Bjorn versus Protoss literally never fails to deliver. So, if you missed out, well, we're going to have another 5 games of this fantastic shenanigans. Because I would argue, while Hero is probably the best Protoss player in the world right now, as Probe will be unsuccessful in denying the expansion. That being said, as Adept find their way onto the other side, it is going to be some problems. I'm literally a god, and then I proceed to just mess it all up. 1 second later. In fairness to Nickel Death, I messed up the tweet. And I actually didn't mess up the tweet, so we're okay. I did not mess up any of the actual on-screen productions. 2 Adepts, they're going to show on up now, and with Reapers and Hellions, it's difficult, but it's somewhat doable. We do need to add that second Hellion, though, so we're looking for the lineup shots. 2 Reapers running on forward. Hellions looking for those shots, because, of course, the Adepts, in a void, they do win the fight. It's just all about getting the actual trade. So 1 Adept will fall down. Hellion, ooh, backs on up. Adept survives. Command Center not all that delayed. And we're good. We're alive. We're okay. And the game goes on. Bornal, feel free to make any Twitch clips of this series that you wish. Follow that rhythm. My pleasure. I'm not sure what you're thanking me for, but my pleasure. Okay, Creator behind this. He's got a Warp Prism on the way. Rebel Bay halfway done. How many gateways does he have? 2. This is going to be... I don't know whether this is going to be Colossus drops or Disruptor drops, but Creator, he's opened it spicy in this game number 1 with the double Adept harass with what will assumedly be Warp Prism harass. Well, we know it's going to be Warp Prism harass, but either Colossus drops or Disruptor drops, not really sure. As the Hellions, they try to find their way on in, but they're not going to get too much here. They're going to get an Adept, and that's nice. But because Creator did, overbuild Adepts early, it's fine. And yep, there we go. Colossus drops on the way. Colossus drops on the way. I've actually started to see more of this as of late. Yeah, Warnel, it's fine. Because, I talk about gamer Degen hours or PhD Degen hours, whatever. I mean, or grad student Degen hours, excuse me. Let's be generic here. Or even student Degen hours. Gamer Degen hours. Clem literally wakes up in his pajamas and crushes face. Astray has talked about as the Hellions. Ooh, a couple more Hellions. They find their way into the natural. Beyond looking for a little bit of damage here. 3 workers will go. Oh, line him up. Line him up. 1 more shot. Oh, only 1 Hellion remains, but still 6 workers have gone down. He needs 2 more shots here to make something happen. 1 more. Make it another. 9 workers go down. Make it. Yep, 9 workers die. The Colossus drop's going to have to get so much now. And... oh, Beyond was building... yeah, there we go. It's like, you need Vikings. You do need Vikings. So, Bjorn, did he see the setup? I don't know necessarily. Oh, he didn't. Oh, no, he did. Okay, he saw the... yeah, he knows what's up. So, we see missile turrets go down. Tank's actually shelling away at this. It does take, I think, 4 tank shots to kill off a Colossus. But for now, we're going to see a couple SCVs go down. Bjorn rallying forward, but of course, he doesn't want his Marines to fight that one either. But a Viking is now out here, and yes... Warp Prism speed is a wonderful thing. Notice, of course, Beyond, he's not targeting the Colossus because you can actually dodge Viking shots. Instead, he targets the Warp Prism because that does put a timer on things. That does mean eventually Creator will have to go back home. So he says, I'm going to do it anyways. Of course, Liberator on the other side. I don't know how much I got. Wait, what? Are we using the Home Store Cut mod? We are. Okay, cool. Hey, Ashfall, thank you so much for the follow. Behind this, Disruptor, or Creator adding in Disruptors. And he gets his Twilight behind that. So actually, Beyond, he's going to run across the map here, going to try to punish this. And gonna be interesting to see now, because of course, Crater with perfect micro, he can kill every bit of this army. And the Viking does, of course, have to target the Warp Prism down. But because the Warp Prism is so fast, and just because of this army composition that Bjorn has, technically, Crater can kill every single thing on the map. But if Crater is less than perfect, Bjorn will find his way on the other side. He will be able to find value. But like two ships in the night, Crater's now stuck in the middle of the map because he's trying to head off reinforcements, and instead, Bjorn is going to siege 3 tanks up at the third base. Stim is done in 10 seconds. Now, Crater's going to have to rotate around, but he's going to have to fight into 3 siege tanks. And the Colossus will not be happy about that one. We do not have extended thermal lance. The only upgrade on the Robo Bay, of course, was for the Warp Prism speed. It looks like on the other side, Disruptor drops were good, though. And that is going to be something. Tank's actually not sieged up right now, so this is Crater's time to maybe make something happen. Disruptor shot is going to knock down 1 tank. There we go. And Bjorn probably going to have to back up here now, but he got the third. And that is something, but getting out is going to be the difficult thing. Luckily, of course, Bjorn does have stim, and medevacs are on the way, so eventually he should be able to complete the airlift and maybe get out of here, or maybe find something more, because he's got a drop on the left side, and he may be able to pinch these two together, get Crater distracted, make pressure in the main, and then make something else happen. So there you go, drop in the main base. It's actually not even 2 full medevacs, but it will force a reaction out of Crater here. Bjorn now is going to stim forward, but Disruptor shots. Oh, he's not paying attention because he's stimming into the natural, where Crater is also paying attention. So force fields are going to be pretty damn fine, and actually it's going to be a dead pylon. That is really the only damage that Bjorn got out of that pressure. Crater's doing a great job of defending this. He really is. Yes, losing the bases is not good. Double plus on bad. But now Blink is done, so we're going to see that medevac fall down. But at least Bjorn should be able to get out. If you're a Bjorn fan, should be able to get out of the right side position. Run mostly all the way home. As of course, we do not have charge. Charge has not yet been started. And yeah, Stalkers are decent chasing tools, but really not the best. In fact, though, Bjorn does not want to run home. He says, okay, well, it's time for me to find my way on the right side. But Crater, he heads off that push. He heads off that damage. He kills the tanks before Bjorn is truly ready. But now Bjorn, sieging up 2 tanks in the middle of the map here, says, okay, Stalkers, you don't get to fight. Okay, well, he's going to fight anyways. Now the Biostim's on forward. Disruptor shot. Bjorn is decent split, but now he's going to try to get on top of the Colossus, which again does not have, extended thermal lance. This is getting to the point where it feels like Crater does not know that, or he thinks it's in production, he's kind of forgotten about it. Because extended thermal lance is just so important to fighting Bio. Without it, Marauders share range with the Colossus. With it, they outrange them. It allows the Colossus to actually sit out of range of where it can just get targeted down. It does necessitate Vikings. But for now, of course, Crater, he does have his third base done. Beyond his third base here as well, but not quite an orbital just yet. That's odd, though. I didn't notice until right now, but Bjorn did not get +1 attack. He only has +1 armor. Feels like a Zerg thing, right? Where you get Carapace to support all of your ground units, but attack supports everything. Anyway, so Bjorn now is going to stim on forward. He's going to knock down a Stalker or 2 because concussive shells are wonderful things. Watch how the pendulum swings. But it doesn't really feel like either player can really break their opponent at this point. And folks, those of you fans of good StarCraft, that should make you very happy, because I would like to point out the incredible game that we just had on this very map. Bjorn vs. Zero went 25 minutes, 28 minutes. Glorious. Amazing, wonderful. But this fight is going to kick off here. Disruptor shot. Bjorn's going to dodge. He says, I don't want to take that fight. I don't want to mess around with it. And he's just opening up the map now. Knocking down rocks, giving him different attack paths and different ways to take the fight. Because, remember, on a different map, it was Hardwire, but same map scenario with the high ground, low ground, high ground in the middle of the map. He was able to just collapse on Hero. And just go from, oh, this game is rather even, to you're dead in the blink of an eye, as DT is looking for a little bit more. But the Vikings do a good job of knocking the Warp Prism down. But Bjorn not, well, actually, there's the benefit of +1 armor. +1 attack is not yet done for Crater, but Bjorn not really reacting to these DTs in the main. He looks like he's got some in the third, and that's going to be nice. But 12 workers have gone down, make it, DT's not dying in the main base either, but 15 workers have died. So Bjorn, we were talking about how, okay, you know, he's built himself in the mid-game state. He's really happy about this game. He's now down 15 workers. Well, technically he's down 17, but he just lost 15 workers. His army is good, don't get me wrong, and he does have a decent amount of Well, actually, no, I thought he had more Vikings. He only has 2. But as long as he holds these high ground positions, he will be able to maybe take some fights. Only 2 disruptors in the army right now, so if Bjorn can split out of those, he's going to be happy. Now, he's going to lose 1 tank, but oh, that's still 4 tanks. Now, Bjorn's stimming on in. Okay. Okay. Oh, man. Bjorn versus disruptors, you never know what's going to happen. Because he will almost always commit to try to kill them, and sometimes he makes a brilliant move and kills them all, and sometimes he dies. So that was more middle of the ground. He killed it, but he did lose some stuff, and now Tank's sieging up on the front side. The Zealot run by is not really getting much of anything here. Bjorn, he sieged up the position between the natural and the main and the natural and the third base of Creator, and Bjorn actually though finds himself supply block due to the run by of the DTs and the charge lots and the stalks and everything else. So that is a fantastic move from Creator's Creator now trying to find his way in from every side. Remember, though, Extended Thermal Lance is now done. We no longer have Marauders sharing range with Colossus. Now Bjorn stims in, he gets the Robo. Zealous trying to make something happen here. Creator looking for the big 360 surround. But this position from Bjorn is terrifying. He's up 20 army supply. He has better upgrades. And, oh, he's going to try to get this Disruptor. Oh, hot pickup. There we go. So now he gets it. That's the cheeky micro we're looking for. But now here comes Creator coming from 2 different sides. Bjorn, from 3 different sides. Excuse me. Bjorn's going to have to wiggle his way on out of here. He will lose the tanks. Instead, he's going to pick up, but he does not have enough to save everything. Some of the bio goes down. Stalkers blink forward. And Creator, he has his 4th base up. He has his 5th base up. He is in a fantastic spot. So, yes, Rootfly, you telling me that Creator was tired? Sure, maybe, possibly. But he is just heading off enough of Bjorn's pressure while getting damage done on his own that he has bought himself a wonderful little lead in this game. Resources lost. Now, Creator's trading, of course, a little bit worse as we move into the late game. Zealots are expensive, so are DTs, but let's look at the income advantage around the same time. Creator is very happy with that one. Is now Bjorn trying to find his way onto this 5th base, but with the Colossus here and the Disruptor as well, Bjorn's going to try to put himself into a corner, but even still, it's not going to be all that happy. Disruptor is going to kill a DT. Friendly fire. Not so friendly after all. Okay, so Bjorn's going to find these Stalkers, and he's going to try to knock them down. But, of course, Creator is paying attention. And Blink will come off cooldown in just a second. So we should be okay there. But also, Bjorn's going to find this 5th base. And there really is not a lot to defend. There's a couple more Stalkers warp in, but Stack Defense is not ready. EMPs are decent. Bjorn does have extended, or does have enhanced Shockwave. So, in fact, Bjorn is just going to get this base. The army of Creator is too slow to... Bjorn. I thought he was going to get the base. Bullets are actually not all that great, but okay. This should be enough to zone it out. The base will go down. Bjorn getting a couple probes as well as we have Creator setting up attacks, counterattacks on the other side. 5 DTs are going to try to make something happen here. Ghost, well, Bjorn seems to be aware of this. DTs blink in, but we actually see the advantage of the balance patch. They can't kill them for just a second, but Bjorn keeps them alive anyways as his army now runs back home. Good scan, but the DTs can't really... actually, there's nothing to slow them down, so the DTs look like they will be able to escape for the most part. And there we go, the secondary blink as well. But on the backside, steady targeting, Ghost dies, or DT dies. 7 SCVs have died beyond maintaining that 20 army supply deficit. Man, this is such a weird game. Like, it's so standard, but it's also not. We're like, oh, this stuff is happening. I don't know. Maybe I'm just tired. That Stalker run by gets nothing done. And our Creator trying to find his way in, but you're up a ram into tanks, my friend. That is never going to work, or at least never going to be easy. But notice that we have Creator playing a very different, similar in some places where the mass expand, but still not mass expanding as hard. Creator's playing a very different TPP, or a very different PVT from what we saw Hero doing, where Resources Lost is not nearly booing as hard, but also Creator's not taking the map as hard. He's staying a little bit higher tech. And he's also moving into carriers. He's moving into that Skytoss ideal. Which is interesting. I forgot who asked me whether going like the Carrier Tempest Disruptor would have been the play. And I said yes, but Hero can't get there. All right, if Hero had maybe been a little bit more lax, maybe you could have gotten there, but also he would not have been able to take as many bases. So it's a complicated discussion. Certainly, though, Creator in this game, by just posturing a little bit more, by doing a little bit more multitasking harass instead of trying to just hit him with 2 big armies, playing that Gateway Man style, he is able to move into multiple Stargates and +1 airs. That's just a dead DT. Good eyes there, Bjorn. Multiple Stargates and +1 air and fleet beacons and eventually into carriers or temps before Bjorn makes the air transition. Because right now, yes, there's a second starport on the way. Yes, there is a fusion core on the way. Oh, that is those are some juicy tank shots. That's not exactly what Creator wanted. But okay, DT's on the north side. They're gonna find some stuff. As they blink in, yeah, the drop is gonna be dealt with, but John's gonna react as well as he's posturing here, holding the high ground. It's complicated for Creator to approach that high ground. In fact, complicated as in you shouldn't do it with the tanks being right there. But carriers are on the way, so we do have to point this out. Of course, 16 supply of Creator is sitting not in his army; it's sitting in his production. So while we say Bjorn is up 20 supply, really he's up like 40 army supply right now until these carriers do arrive, which does buy Bjorn an opportunity to make something happen before the Skytoss army is truly out here. So on the left side, he's not going to get a lot because, well, EMPs are good, but also that is a Colossus, that is 2 Disruptors. But on the right side, Disruptors, ooh, a lot of them fall down to the tanks, and now Bjorn taking a pretty fantastic trade before the carriers arrive. And even then, it will only be, I think, 1 or 2 out. So he's going to find, yeah, he's going to kill 1 Stargate immediately. And also important, he knows what type of game it is that Creator is playing right now. He's going to get a Robo as well as DTs and Zealots try to find their way on in. The tanks are not yet sieged, so the DTs, they kill 1 of them off. Bjorn is a little bit of a pickle, but oh, who's the pickling here? It actually looks like Creator is the one that is made out of cucumber and vinegar because Bjorn takes a fantastic fight. He picks up, he dodges the Disruptors, he backs on out of here, and now he's in the Natural Stalkers that have been, of course, warped in. That was a really cool move there from Bjorn, and he is going to be able to get out. Of course, carriers are on the map right now, but he got a Stargate. He has slowed down the production of the carriers to make it only 2 at a time instead of 3. And Bjorn on the left side as well, he's going to deny, what is this, the 5th base of Creator. Nothing really going to stop that one. I do want to see 3-3 out of Bjorn. But even with 2-2, he's doing a great job here of playing around the map. Channeling his inner pult, as it were, as we're going to see another Archon not die. Okay. But eventually, we will need to see Bjorn get proper anti-air. And it's interesting to see him go for Liberators, because there's an argument, and I've talked to Vindicta about this, I've talked to other Terrans about this, and it seems to be very split. Where Liberators are, of course, fantastic against Protoss ground. But technically, when we ignore upgrades, I'm not quite sure how it works with upgrades, but just pure base damage. 8 Liberators, 1 shot an Interceptor. But if you take the fight, it becomes really complicated, because what you need to happen is you need all the Interceptors to be out before the Liberators arrive, and then you have to have them clumped up on something, and then the Liberators show up, and you want to have a couple extra to get them the shots that you need. And that's how that works. But if your Liberators are part of the army, if it is a standard fight, then the Liberators get picked off 1 by 1. It's really not exactly what you need. As Disruptor shots, they're going to roll on forward, and of course, Liberators, they're sieging up anyways. They're not looking for the head-on, let me kill all the Interceptors. Because, of course, right now, the carriers are not that big of a problem. It's only +1 air. In fact, we're seeing +1 air armor here as Disruptor shots move on forward. Liberators getting some fantastic value here. Last of the Disruptor shots, I think, are going out, and now Bjorn looking to collapse on top of things, but it is still scary because Colossus, they do a whole hell of a lot of work. But now Bjorn's stimming on in, trying to make something happen here, but the mixed damage, the combined complexity of this army of Creator is not actually all that much more expensive in minerals and gas it is. And the supplies are somewhat even. But really what we're looking at, of course, is just, it's so hard for this army that Bjorn has. But, ooh, good EMPs to start here. And he's going to knock down a lot of the chaff of that army. But still, the Disruptors are there. Still, the Colossus are theirs. Now, the Liberators trying to knock down some of these Interceptors, I guess. But, ooh, good EMPs as well. Now, Bjorn trying to run on forward, trying to knock down this Colossus, maybe. But I think it's really interesting to see Creator go +1 air armor instead of +2 air attack. That's new. Now, it may be the economic state where Bjorn is actually mining more minerals right now. They're both on equal numbers of bases. The Creator's not really been able to get that 6th base up just yet. I mean, he has it up now, but it's going to not be mining very soon. I'll actually start to deal with it. But he hasn't really been able to build that significant economic lead that he would have liked. So maybe he says, oh, you know, I want things to survive a little longer. That's fine. But I do think it's interesting that we're not seeing four Vikings at a time. Instead, we're seeing 4 Liberators. Bjorn's going to find the Stalkers, but dropping on the side. He's going to be fine. Disruptor shot, though. Bjorn, pick up! Oh, that was a cool move there from Creator. He anticipated what was happening, so he says, oh, okay, you know. Bjorn does know that there was vision there, so he kills the Observer, but A full medevac of bio versus an observer. I don't know which one you all favor, folks, but I think I favor losing the observer. Especially considering at this point, robo production time is not nearly as big of a thing as it was previously. The Stalkers run forward, and actually nothing dies. Beyond setting it for a multi-prong here as he sieges up the main defensive position that Creator has. Meanwhile, he finds his way out of this side. Good EMPs knock down a lot of the static defense, and one disruptor is not going to be enough. So Beyond, right now, he's actually not doing anything, but he's forcing most of the army of Creator. Now he's going to dodge forward. He's looking for something, and he's going to siege on forward just a little bit more. Meanwhile, this base on the right side, he's going to kill it after killing off a lot of Stalkers. So good trades for Beyond here to start, as now we see the Liberator sieging up once again. Disruptor shot gets a couple Marauders, but now Beyond, he's got to be careful because how many Interceptors are on the field? It is 45, and this is where things get scary because yes, well, Marauders do not kill carriers. That's actually the big deal. All the Marines are dead because those Interceptors with +1 attack, +1 armor, and +1 shields, they're hard to kill. And so the Liberators on the field, Beyond is just not really giving us a solution to the mass Interceptor count. But again, I'm excited to see what happens because this is, we've started to see Terran players do this a little bit. It doesn't seem all that great, but of course Beyond is Beyond, and he from the last game. Okay, now we're going to see Liberators again. GT's blink on forward, charge less on forward, but now all the stuff on the ground is dead. But still, a lot of the Interceptors, they are only 32 alive here now. Beyond stimming on forward. Marauders trying to get something. 27 Interceptors are all that remain. So this is a much more doable fight, as I think a drop went down. But Beyond has killed 13 workers. He killed a base. He's going to get another one. Mass recall is not going to be enough to save this base in time. So now Creator is only back down to 5 bases, which seems crazy, but he's only back down to 5 bases. Beyond finds himself on a 40 army supply lead. Creator doesn't have a lot of money, but it is 8 carriers, and it feels hard to ever say anything against 8 carriers. So what Beyond is doing here is he's saying, yeah, your carriers are scary, but I'm just going to choose to not engage them for the most part. I'm going to have just enough that I kind of can. Meanwhile, I'm going to be all over the map because this army is a death ball. I'm going to punish it for being a death ball. So he's gotten 2 bases in the span of a couple minutes. He's killed off a lot of the workers. Again, Beyond has found himself an economic advantage when he's been down the entire time. Another Colossus falls. He gets another base. +2 air is now done, so it's really hard for anything to engage in these liberation zones. And now Beyond stimming forward 8. It's still 8. It's still 8 carriers. The Interceptors are so scary that Beyond in as good of a position as he is, we're just going to look at the Interceptor count. It's actually only 28. It's starting to fall down here. The +3 bio with EMPs, they're actually just eating every single bit of it. And Beyond takes that game. But okay, so game number 2. Honestly, I don't even remember how that started, really. It went late so fast. But we saw Creator make the carrier transition. Dan the Man, thank you so much for the follow. You subbed to me half an hour ago, and now you followed up with a follow. I do appreciate it regardless. And folks, it's crazy. I know I've talked about this before, but I don't know, I'm so grateful. I was at like 1650 followers literally a week ago. Now we're about to hit 2K. A week ago, I had never had more than about 48 subs. Now we're at like 102 subs, 107 sub points. Right? Like, that doesn't feel like that. You have 8 carriers fully out on Interceptors and a Colossus. It doesn't feel like those 3/3 Marines should win the fight. And I never see them win the fight like that. But Beyond just does Beyond things. EMP is overpowered against Protoss? I mean, maybe. Who knows? I hear rumors that we're eventually going to get a second balance patch. Maybe EMP gets nerfed. Maybe EMP actually gives Protoss energy and shields. That seems like fair. Yeah, they were wrong then and they're wrong now. Burning it. Beyond is not just a Reaper abuser. But notice what we're seeing from Creator here. He's done this 2 games in a row where he's going for this delayed scout. And I think part of it is to look for macro racks, for like these middle of the map kind of proxy racks, but not really. But now the Reaper's on the other side. Now, of course, with the shield battery here, Beyond now knows that an Adept is going to go onto the other side. So he does have to be prepared for that one, but he's kind of learned from game 1. Command Center on the high ground. He did this to Hero in games 2 and 3, and on any short map, it just seems like what he wants to do. And that means that this Adept pressure just does not really accomplish what he wants. I mean, he's going to get the SCV, sure, but a single SCV is not really what you're looking for when you're trying to delay a Command Center. Hey, Burning 2. I will tell you that Blinding Cloud is really not OP against Protoss. I think I may have cast a Blinding Cloud against the Protoss, but it was not all that. It was a really weird circumstance. I mean, we had Sasha in here today who was trying to tell us that, well, without Consume, Vipers are a D-tier unit, which I agree with, by the way. But Vipers are not nearly as good as people make them out to be, which is also very, very true. But beyond going for a Widowmine Marine drop, I think, in this game. Well, no, it's just going to be for 2 Widowmines. Okay, so the non-committal Widowmine drop Marines are going to find an Adept, and they say, hey, Adepts. You must be adept at whatever you do, but with a Stalker arriving here as well, this gets and the second Adept, this actually gets a little bit more complicated. This early game harass is something that really is Trap is a fan of, but a Creator appears to have learned from it. But now the Bio onto the low ground with healing as well. It's gonna be 1 dead Adept. Widowmine's running on forward, saying, "Run for me, fear me," and it will force Creator out. But also, it's a good scout. Creator now knows, okay, 2 Widowmines. I saw the medevac. I know this is technically a Widowmine drop. Oh, he's gonna go for it. Does he get it? Ah! So fancy. So fancy. And now what Creator was looking to do is trigger the right one because he hoped that there was a slim window where units could run by and not trigger the Widowmine, but Bjorn chased that just a little bit too hard. Yeah, I mean, technically, Brendan Reimer, though, they were 1/1/1 carriers. Which still, they're not +2 carriers, they're not +3 carriers, but even still. But okay, now here comes the drop from Bjorn, getting a Raven as well, moving into a 2-on-1 type of setup. Third barracks on the way eventually, and that just makes sense. Mimic McGimmick. I really appreciate that name. Thank you so much for the follow, my friend. You see that Wizards of the Coast sent Pig a card box that was literally a Mimic. It looked very cool. I'm very jealous. And I've said very too much times this cast. I will endeavor not to do it again. But okay, Widowmine drop here from Bjorn. It's going to get scouted out, though. I mean, Creator knows the Widowmines are on the field anyways, so Bjorn is just doing interesting things with the medevac, and I guess just trying to bait out a response there from Creator. But okay, here comes the drop, and actually the Stalkers are out of position. They thought it was something else, but Creator easy paying attention. Widowmines go down in the natural, but okay, in the natural, actually, Raven auto turret harass gets 5. Bjorn trying to trigger 2 at once, and Widowmine's actually going to get a probe. Yeah, probe. 6 workers go down, medevac falls as well, so it's something. I mean, you get 6 probes. Bjorn is now only 2 workers behind his opponent, which really is not the worst thing in the world. I mean, it doesn't, not even really burning 2. Not since it's been nerfed. At the high level, you'll more often than not, if when Zerg players get Vipers, they'll just keep abducting. They'll just keep yoinking and yoinking and yoinking and yoinking, and you really will not see that all that much against. You really won't see Blinding Clouds nearly as often since it got nerfed. Like if there are 6 tanks all clumped up together, okay, maybe sure, but in general, Pro Terrans are good enough at not clumping that you're really totally fine. And plus, the prompt was all spells are overpowered against Protoss. What are we talking about? Is Mecha Protoss composition Mr. Burning 2? Is Mecha Protoss composition? I didn't think so. Okay, now Stalkers, though, finding their way onto the other side of the map, and with Blank, these are scary boys. But Bjorn has a bunker. Bjorn has 2 tanks. Yeah. That's exactly that. You lose all the shields, you run away. And okay, Bjorn adding on his 4th and 5th barracks right now. This is getting ready for the traditional 3-1-1. You know, this is the timing that you all are familiar with. This is the timing that has really defined the Terran meta for a while. You run out of the map around 7:30 when stim combat shields +1 are done, and you try to put pressure on. But Bjorn, little wrinkle, he's got a double drop on the left side, and eventually we will see him move out on the map. But for now, he seems content to stay back home, stimming into the 3rd base because Creator thinks he's safe right there. Going to get on top of the Colossus. Shield battery overcharge, though. It popped. And that does not get what he is looking for. That being said, Bjorn also forced shield battery overcharge, which means that his push coming in soon enough. Slap and tickle dock? That makes me uncomfy. Welcome, though. It doesn't mean that his eventual push will be more powerful because there's no shield battery overcharge for the next, well, I guess it's going to be off cooldown. There we go. That's what I meant to say. By the time that this is done, in fact, Bjorn doesn't really seem to want to get too active on the map. He's got his 3rd base. He's just going to take that one. And, okay, like 2 ships in the night. Beyond will find that the Warp Prism is on the bottom side, so Warp Prism really should not get too much done anymore, and the Vikings are going to be dispatched over to say, run, run, run away. Creator, though, too wise for these tricks. He's going to pull the Warp Prism in a corner, looking for a more auspicious time. As Beyond has his Ghosts on the way, Enhanced Shockwaves, +1 armor, so that may be the timing that Beyond looks to do something. But also, Creator has found a fantastic defensive position. He's on 8 gateways already. His supply is not really, again, ballooning to the, or Beyond's supply is not really ballooning to that point where the Terran could have been aggressive anyways. And of course, that is because Beyond in part did open for a Widowmine drop into this, so you're not quite as big at this point in your actual bioproduction because, of course, your barracks are delayed slightly because you do get those Widowmines early. But still, Beyond taking a position on the map, he's going to try to take fights around these doodads. He did such a good job of it in Hero in Game 2. He did lose. I mean, Burning 2, you're allowed to argue all you want. You will just be wrong. As, oh, good feedback there on the Raven. It's something that has become somewhat common now, but it's still sexy. But yeah, Burning 2, you're allowed to argue all you want. You'll just be wrong. Or I'll do the streamer thing and like totally twist your words around until I find an argument that I like that I can win. Even if it's not what you're saying, you know. But I'm the one with the audience here. I'm the one with the voice. I'm the one people are listening to or something. Some suitably arrogant comment. Widowmine shot, though, is going to take a little bit of damage on the Archons. This Creator now running on forward with 3 Colossus. It's not the scariest thing, but was that just... Okay, that was a Observer, not a Warp Prism. But okay, so Beyond's really turtled up here. It's going to be damn hard for Creator to make something happen. Now Zealous, though, they're running on, and Vikings on the high ground, but it's only 2 of them. And while hard it is, it looks like Creator is doing a damn fine job of breaking on through, but now the chaff is gone. The SCV is going to get pulled here. 1 Colossus is not even going to go down, but actually, no, yeah. No, Beyond is kind of taking this fight. Oh, this is such a tricky fight. 13 SCVs go down, but Beyond's now going to be able to chase down the Colossus on the backside. I think with his last set of Vikings, he will. So the tech now of Creator has been reset. Beyond lost 13 SCVs, but he's still at 60. He's doubling the supply of his opponent at this point, and the game goes on. I'm looking at this. I'm like, seems like Creator's crunching through. Seems like Beyond's taking the fight. I think he's taking the fight. I don't know. Could have probably cast that better, but I need to learn to, when I truly don't know what's happening, I need to learn to just lean into, I don't know what's happening here. They're fighting. I don't know who wins. This is just too close to call. I need to do that. He's trying to call a fight that I truly don't know what's happening. Or I truly don't know who's winning because that was rather technical. It just doesn't sound all that well. Sound all that good. But Beyond, he has his 2-2 on the way now. Creator does have his 4th base, but so too does Beyond. So we can position Beyond in a fantastic position in this game. He's lost about 3,000 resources less. He has mined just about the same, so it's not one of those games where Creator has been mining more. He was on 3 bases when this push happened. And now Beyond, he's looking for more agency on the map, more things to do, because he knows he just reset the tech. There are no Colossus, there are no Disruptors on the field right now. As Beyond stims down the ramp, he gets a EMP, but Shield Battery is going to do a good job of healing that one up right now. And Beyond, he's going to struggle to push into this 4th base location. He can maybe make something happen in the natural or the 3rd, but actually rather nice vision, I think, for Creator. Yeah, decent vision there for Creator. So he's going to see where Beyond, if Beyond decided to rotate a little bit closer to his core base, and then, well, he would have rotated on over as well. And we also got to remember, of course, the recall is a thing. So even if the first time that Creator gets out of position, Beyond, he can, or by Beyond, he can react. Pretty much, Dr. Dark Knight. Glad you understand. But Beyond, okay, he's going to lose I think he lost him. No, he just lost a Ghost there. Good target fire there from Creator. And Beyond is looking for aggressive opportunities, and he's not really finding it just yet, but he is maxing out now. His 2-2 is done in 10 seconds. He has a plentiful amount of Ghosts. He's at 5. This is not TVZ late game where you want to go up to 20. Base snipes are not quite as powerful, but Beyond's going to stim in. Oh, EMP is going to get the 1. No, he doesn't get the Disruptor, but he's going to rotate over to the right side. Now Stalker's looking for what they can. And the Disruptor shot, the single one on the map, well, I guess there's a second, but the single one in this side of the map, it will go down. But Beyond's still not all that successful in finding what he wants. So the Stalker run forward. They're trying to get a medevac, and they don't. Stalker dies. Beyond trying to chase them down. EMPs as well, so we can really start to shred things But this concave that Creator has built for himself makes it really hard. Makes it pretty damn hard for Beyond to really take a fight. So in fact, he kills a couple of his own Marauders to buy supply for Liberators to come out. I mean, fair, Liberators are really good. So. Okay, but now Creator trying to find his way up on the high ground, and actually Beyond with the concave here. Liberator sieging up as well. Does he split for the Disruptors? He does. Fantastic job. And now he's going to be able to chase down. Another Disruptor falls. Beyond with the splits, he loses a couple Marines. He's absolutely okay with that one. That was a mistake and a half there from a Creator. He did not want to go up that ramp without seeing what was happening. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, single Zealot harassment is actually killing SCVs. The Beyond is probably okay with losing because he needs more supply for more army. Now, on the other side of the map, Beyond stims his way into the natural, but he is absolutely getting surrounded here. Stalkers on both sides. So which side of the fight does Beyond choose to take? He says, I'll take both. I'll kill some stuff on the left. I'll find these Stalkers on the right side. And the flank seemed good from Creator, but unfortunately, the bio is better. Stalkers are really not good against bio. So it was a good idea from Creator, but instead, Creator loses some Liberators, or loses some Disruptors, and he loses some Stalkers. And that Zealot really didn't get all that much. Beyond back on 80 workers anyways. Liberators sieging up here. Advanced Ballistics done in 10 seconds. So, of course, Liberator range as well. Makes it even harder for this army that Creator has to fight. And there we go. Now, Creator trying to find his way in. Disruptor shot. Beyond, he's not paying attention or something. And he's going to lose just about everything. This is starting to become a little bit more viable for Creator now. Now, the Liberators, of course, they're not dealt with. Not just yet. And Beyond with his reinforcements are finding their way on in as more Disruptors do fall. Beyond hot pickup now dropping on top. Trying to get that last Disruptor. He will get it. Stopping his blink forward, but into Liberation zones. And despite how bad that was terrible for Beyond. He just lost so much to the Disruptor. He's still able to rally forward. He's still able to kill more and more and more of these Disruptors. Still able to take some level of a cost-efficient trade. But my boy, Beyond. That wasn't even Beyond doing the thing where he says, I can stim forward. I can kill this Disruptor, and he loses it. This was just, he was doing something else somewhere else. So he was kind of fighting, and I guess he popped stim, and he didn't know Disruptors were there. So he says, you know, it's fine. I don't need a micro for a second. I can go take a base or do something else, and that was not the case. That was a false lie. But now Beyond onto this fourth base now. Liberators, they're just going to siege up everything. And Disruptors, they cannot get in range. That is why Liberators are the preferred tool against this. Disruptors cannot get in range. You're never going to have shots that are hitting the bio as long as the bio is under the Aegis. As a Disruptor goes down, they're going to trade their lives, and really not the worst thing there is Beyond finds himself a 30 army supply lead. The counterattack of Creator, of course, this is a short map. He can make something happen. Beyond does not really get the base, but he does get a lot of mining out of it. Good splits here as Liberators, they look at to siege up just about everything, and they're killing a lot of Stalkers. So now Beyond stims forward, knocks down one Liberator. The rally of Beyond as a flank, and yes, Beyond is losing 19 SCVs. We cannot forget this, but Creator is losing a lot more. His army is just evaporating in this game. As now the Zealots, they're running on forward, but EMPs are just knocking them all down. Now Beyond one Disruptor, two Disruptor goes down the flank from the right side or from the left, but that bio is actually really damn low, so Creator blinks on top of it. Probably the best fight he could have taken. Even still, though, and in the choke here, that's not what you're looking for. And Beyond, that was awkward as hell. Who was flanking whom, I don't know. But Beyond is mining more, even down 16 workers because he does have mules. He got the base. It is now Creator on 4 bases, playing a Mr. Gateway Man style, where he is trading much worse now. And resources gathered is just about equal. This is not one of those games where you just have better mining, so you can do this for a while. That was what Hero was doing. And Beyond, he just punches through. Creator can't handle it anymore. Game 2 goes the way of the Shopify Terran. In the bottom left now, in the blue, he's down 2, looking for a comeback, looking to take us to game number 5. He is for Team NV, Creator. His opponent on the upper right side of the map here in the red. He's up 2. He's looking dominant. He's Beyond. Okay, so we've seen one game of Colossus drops. Those were interesting. He didn't really get all that much done. We've seen late games of really, because I think that's what we got to talk about. As really it has been the late games that have been, or the mid to late games that have been defining this. In game 1 and game 2, Creator was in a decent spot. In the early to mid game, it just, things started to snowball out of control. And Beyond is a bear you don't want to poke, indeed. So what does Creator do? I would not be surprised to see some sort of all-in. Hey, Arcana Proto, it's been a while. How's it going, man? Hope you're doing well. By the way, folks, because I love this, Nina pointed out to me last night that my GG emote with the robot holding it up kind of looks like the cleaning bot if you take the right angle. So that gives me no end of joy as the probe gets recalled out because Beyond is, of course, walled in. But Creator actually gets a good scout here. He realizes that a barracks and a factory have been made before the command center. So this will be aggression coming out of Beyond in this game. Most likely Cloaked Wind of Mines, but we're going to have to see what exactly he has in store for us. And actually, is that a Reaper? That's STV. That's Reaper. Okay. I was going to say, if that's an SCV running across, that's going to be Hellion drops, but just for now, it's going to be a Reaper. And what's this probe doing? Is this going to be Proxy Stargate? Yep, there we go. Proxy Stargate coming in from Creator, looking to nip this one in the bud, but he's also going to have to be super careful with that Widowmine because, well, or he's going to have to be super careful with that Oracle because Widowmines will be out pretty damn quickly. And that is always scary. It means the Oracle is really not going to get as much damage as Creator would like because, again, he doesn't know where the Widowmine is. It's always hard to scout. So Reaper finds its way into the natural, says, okay, there's natural. 2 probes there. That seems a little low, but you have to see exactly what he wants to do. Is just dancing around, seeing the double adept, though, and he's going to force to find his way on the high ground at the last second. Last shot, though, kills the Reaper. And that is that. Beyond does not get his view into the main base, does not see that maybe there's a missing pylon, does not see the amount of gas mines. So, do we have Widow Mines defensively anywhere? No, we do not. But now we're going to see him burr up behind 2 different spots now. And as the Oracle looks to fly in, it's going to be ready rather soon. Is Creator going to be prepared for this? Now, Adepts are going to shade onto the other side right as this command center. Well, actually, it's not even doing anything. So, okay. Here comes the Oracle. Does Beyond have it set up properly? Marines actually baiting this one out. Oracle dives in and oh, no. That is absolutely the polar opposite of what Creator wanted. Now, he does have a second Oracle on the way, but now Beyond feels confident. He can run across the map. I believe he might still have a Widowmine. No, he only has 2. But now he has Marines. Now he's going to have 5 Marines, which of course is exactly what you want to deal with an Oracle play. He got the first one down. Oh, cleaning bots are absolutely instruments of pure evil. I'm going to have got an animated emote in the process that is going to be the cleaning, that is destroying the cleaning bot. So be excited for that. One is now drop into the natural here. Do we have an armory? No, we don't. It's just quick Widow Mines. And Beyond's actually just going to unburrow, buy more mining time. Stalker's warping in the main base. Now, this is a random Widow Mine, but he's going to kill a Stalker. That's actually fairly nice. Widow Mine in the natural here. Probes are going to get... Oh, wait, what? Creator? Create. Oh, okay. That was a bit awkward. Meanwhile, what's happening in the natural? Adept's finding a little bit of value. Oracles as well, but the Oracle is just barely going to survive. The auto turret does not get it. And 3 workers go down. So actually, positive trades here for Creator in the early game. He gets 3 workers. He does not lose all that much. All right, but oh, gun dropped on the other side. Oh, wait, was that the Widow Mine from the... Okay, no, this was a Widow Mine drop. So 7 workers go down, and now we're talking about how good of a spot Creator's in. He gets that positive trade. You know, he gets at least something, not maybe in a great spot, but he at least he gets something for that second Oracle. And now losing 7 probes like that is just, it's a problem. He's now only within 3 workers. He lost that first Oracle. Gun has been able to macro up behind this. Now the Raven is not as useful as you might otherwise want it to be, but you're still kind of okay with it. As Creator has bought a 3rd Oracle into this game. Phoenix running forward, looking for the lift that he's looking for. And Creator just wants to end the game. Or at least do game-ending damage, I guess. Because he's got a lot of stuff on the other side. Adept's now going to shade in. He's going to force the wall. Yeah, okay, that's what he's doing. He's going to force the wall to go up, which will allow him to jump on top of things. Now here come the Oracles. Lift on the siege tank as well. So if there's a time for Creator, it's going to be right here, right now. Auto turrets, they get dropped, though, and this is actually a lot of DPS. 1 Oracle falls. Second one is getting shot down here, but okay, Raven does fall now. Viking not really taking the shot that it wants. More Stalkers rallying across. Widow Mines, they look to burrow, and they do get the burrow off. And now there we go. So we do now see the Oracle go down. Creator does not break Beyond there. And that was kind of the point you're looking for. Now, of course, Creator does have his third base, and he does have +1, and he does have Blink, but he committed a lot to make that happen. And it really was not worthwhile. 3 Oracles have died. The Phoenix stayed alive, but 1 Phoenix is the... 1 is truly the loneliest number when we talk about Phoenix play. And yes, he did get the Raven, but the Raven got value. The Raven effectively killed 1 Oracle. It killed another. It held the defense. And now Bjorn can get active on the map. He has Stim done. Combat Shield's finishing up. +1 just about done here. There are medevacs on the field, although only 1, not 2 just yet. Because Bjorn, of course, did have to build that Viking with that first reactor play. But this army that Bjorn has, as everything finishes up here, Stalkers especially, these Stalkers do not have Blink. Not just yet. So Bjorn's going to be able to kill actually none of them. And he targets down a medevac. I believe a medevac? Yeah, he got the medevac as well. So actually... No, sorry, that was a Viking. Not the worst trade there for a Creator. Maybe he'll be able to hang on. But Bjorn, he's got a drop on the left side. Now, Phoenix is patrolling. But we're going to see Bjorn. He's going to try to activate his main push while that drop goes in. And he says, regardless of what happens, whether I take positive trades in the middle of the map, like right here, whether it makes something happen, he's going to dive on top of the Sentry is dropping Guardian Shields, and they're actually not taking a lot of damage. But even still, now the Stalkers pulling forward. 1 medevac does fall. Guardian Shield is now out of energy. Bjorn, he's dropping in the main base here. Widowmines only get 2 workers. Creator actually doing a fantastic job being on top of that, but third shot, it's going to get 2 more. Okay, now Bjorn on the other side. How is this fight going? He's going to chase down a lot of these Stalkers. Creator actually handled that very well. Creator handled that tremendously well. And this buys them time, regardless of what these players want to do. Both of them seem to be trying to end the game early. Neither player really seems to be able to do enough to actually end the game, or even do game-ending damage. So the games continue to go late. Is that a gateway on the map? Yeah, it is. So Creator now, he's actually getting himself ready for a big gateway attack here. Gateway already on the map for reinforcements. Bjorn rotating onto the right side. He's going to kill a Stalker, but Stalkers, they blink into the natural right now, and Bjorn does not really have a lot right here. It's only 8 Marauders, 5 Marines. Ghosts are already out, though, so that does complicate things, but Stalkers blink on top of it. The Ghost will go down. Medevac goes down here as well. Creator, in his best showing thus far in this series, actually looking damn good, making Bjorn play ring around the rosy. SCVs get pulled to try to kill as many as he can, but only 2 Stalkers fall. The first Ghost is dead in this game. And now Creator, he is the one building an army supply lead. Do we have any Widowmines on the field? We only have 2. A couple medevacs have died as well. This timing from Creator will be terrifying for Bjorn. He's going to add some Archons and just so many Zealots. And Bjorn does not have the setup that he needs to really defend this. We don't have supply depots and bunkers and all of these things that you want just to mess up the AI of the charge lot. So they're going to make full force contact into this army, into the armies of Bjorn. Widowmine's going to burrow, though, and Stalkers don't have Blink. No, they do. Okay. That's going to be nice, but oh, this is just a bit of a bait because all the charge lots on the left side. That being said, though, Bjorn's going to get a lot of these Stalkers before he trades his life away. EMPs on the other side. Bjorn just going to have to come to terms with the fact that this army is dead. He's going to try to take the best possible fight behind the mineral line. And Zealots are... This is buying time. This is buying time. He's going to target the pylon down. He's not going to get it. But now Bjorn, he knows what's up. He is now building the Sim City, building the command center that is probably doomed to get canceled anyways. But it is all meant to eat up the AI of the Zealots. Now here comes the army. Bjorn actually choosing to take a fight on the left side, where the army of Creator is not really just yet good EMPs. Now SCVs is going to get pulled, just looking to buffer. Widowmine shots as well are pretty damn fantastic, but as the Archon, that's kind of the scary thing right now, and it's just dead. So SCVs die. 14 SCVs do fall, but here comes the bio of Bjorn. Barracks get canceled. Now the second level of Creator's army tries to find its way in, but we're starting to see supply differentials here in the extreme. Bjorn up 20 army supply. He's taken this fight. Yes, he loses SCVs, but he still has trip. Oh, wait, that's a dead base. That does change things a little bit. 450 minerals down the drain. But Bjorn, he's still safe. He's still able to build SCVs. He's still able to drop triple mules. And that fight, not the most cost effective for Creator. Those barracks from Bjorn were not really ever meant to be produced out of. Well, I guess he could go up to 8 racks, but he won the 4th before then. They were not really ever made to produce out of. They were there to eat the AI, and that they did. So, Creator again looks like he's positioning for another fight, warping in more High Templar to get those Archons. But the longer this goes, Bjorn has 2-2 on the way. Creator only has a +1 armor, and that is similar timing. the value of Byun's bio army, the value of Byun's basic army is just going to far outstrip what Creator has. So Creator adding in a Robo now, finally for the first time this game, getting Storm. Well, that does make things scary for Byun, of course, but he does have enhanced shockwaves and his ghost control. Well, I'd like to point out that Byun, his nickname for the longest time, before he went by Byun, when he was on Prime and he was a teammate of Maru, and when everyone was wondering where he was, because he disappeared for a couple years from competitive play, his name was Ghost King. And there's a reason for that. His ghost control has always been fantastic. His micro in general has always been fantastic, to be totally fair. Now, Byun, he has stabilized here on his 3 bases. We're going to see a 4th command center go up as Widowmine Drop's going to be dispatched. Byun has found value from one, but not from really all that many others. But okay. Byun's going to find the gateway. He's going to find the pylon, depowering that warp in position. Creator looks like he's maybe posturing for this fight. He's going to run forward. He's going to get a ghost. That's always rather useful. And of course, we have High Templars and the Medivacs looking for the Storm. Actually, first one does not really get all that much. Byun migrating backwards. Good EMPs. But he's got to be very careful here as he steps backwards around the corner. Another Storm lands. Byun's supply starting to drop just a little bit. 3rd Storm is going to be the good one. And now Byun, he is in so much trouble here. The 4th Storm is the one that ends it. And now Creator, a 30 supply lead. Yeah, he's lost 13 workers on the other side, but it is a 30 army supply lead. Byun does not really have a lot to defend this right now because he took the fight on his side of the map. Good Widowmine shots. Certainly, they're doing something. But these Archons here, that is not going to be enough. Creator taking his first map in this series. Well done there. We're going to move into game 4. Scarlet, you could sleep before WTL and have an advantage over Creator. I mean, I'm just saying, you know? Just because I'm living gamer DJ hours doesn't mean you have to. I assumed you'd gone to bed. It's almost 3 in the morning. Although I guess you're you're Central or West Coast, right? So I guess not quite as bad for you. But if WTL is still in 5.5 hours, it is bad regardless. Yeah, I should just get a giant picture of my face on the wall. That is top tier place. I mean, I've already messed around with my green screen for like DreamHack events. Now we had the big Gabe meme, but I think next time I just need to make my I just need to make my background my face for the online component of DreamHack Atlanta, and then other people's faces. Just to get a really zoomed in picture of Kalaris awkwardly staring at us from my background. That is excellent memes. Thank you for the thank you for the idea. And hey, Rootfly, thank you so much for the follow. Creator, he says, yes. Proxies worked last game. Let's do it again. And hello, no time for play. I wonder if we're gonna get a translation on this one. Sometimes with Maddox in the game, we'll get them. Okay. Byun, you want to die? You looking to die, son? I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. Did Byun see anything that really told him that things were crazy? Yes, they definitely got the Reaper. So, Byun mad, I guess they lost the Reaper, but it's a Proxy Dark Shrine in this game at number 4 because Creator has got to go to bed. He has WTL in 5.5 hours, although at this point he's kind of pulling all-nighter and go for it. Because, of course, you know, anything less than 3x is really doesn't do nearly as much for you. So I guess he could sleep for 3 hours or something. Yeah, 5.5 is not horrible. It is, but he survives. The Adepts, they will not go down. Into the natural we go. The question, though, is how many scans will Byun save? That is the only question, or the only thing that determines whether this works or not. I mean, you know, sure, good SimCity and other things like that, but no shot. Okay, okay, Sasha, that's fine. Oh, I thought you were. For some reason, even though I live fairly near Toronto, I always swap Toronto and Vancouver, and I'm like, yes, Toronto's on the West Coast. No, it's not. Bernie, I do have one StarCraft plushie. I do have the Zergling one, the original one, not the new run. Okay, DT finding its way on in. We have one scan on this. There's only one scan. So the first DT will die most likely. Good job there from Beyond. He just pick it up. But actually, that's a rather low command center. Beyond is baiting this out. Oh, this is actually really cool. So look at what Beyond is doing here. He's acting like he does not have a scan. And Crater's the mind games. Oh, I love it. Beyond is brilliant. Look what he did there. He acted like he didn't have a scan. So Crater would assume a scan is coming soon. So he backs out. He says, I don't want to lose the DT. Well, Beyond had a scan the entire time, but ironically, if Beyond had spent the scan, then the second DT would have run in and found value. So instead, that's actually so smart. Okay, now here comes the drop. He's going to find the third base. And it's going to knock down. He's going to try to knock the shield battery down. But really, with that stim... wait, is stim done? Yeah, no, actually, stim is done here. So we're going to try to find something. But, of course, DTs, they're going to clean this someone up fairly easily. As now a drop into the main base as well. Looking for something just a little bit more. And Beyond's going to try to knock down, well, a whole hell of a lot. But now the DTs, they're finding their defensive value. Beyond's going to have to pick up that medevac. Is going down. Oh, that's true, Scarlet. I don't know why I was thinking. Time zones, how do they work? I'm thinking because I'm tired. I'm thinking Crater's tired too. No one ever accused me of being smart. It's fine. It's fine. I'm living my best life. I'm getting roasted by a pro StarCraft player in my Twitch chat at almost 3 in the morning because I have forgotten how time works. This is me living my best life. But okay, the drops from Beyond looking for a little bit more. Now, of course, defensive DTs mean that this doesn't get a lot done in the natural, but Beyond is going to try to stim into the third base, I guess. Colossus are on the way, of course, but we already have one, so this really shouldn't get much done either. These games from Crater are just... I don't know. These Beyond Crater games, Hero Crater is just... Hero Beyond was just always fighting, but these are just these incredibly technical games. Where defensive DTs, Beyond just seems so reticent to drop a scan. Finally, he drops one to kill a DT. But, hey, Colossus drop in the main base. 4 probes do go down, so Beyond is nickel and diming this. His drop is found a little bit more. 6 total probes have died for 14 Marines. Not really sure that is necessarily worth it, but, of course, Marines have died elsewhere as well. Oh, y'all are seeing the 400 IQ play there from Beyond. That was so smart. Oh, I'm dumb. Never mind. Crater can see orbital energy. I'm dumb. It's fine. You know what? I thought it was the 400 IQ play, but really it is just Bayo being 3 in the morning Bayo and being dumb. It's okay. I need a hot 6 or something, except they don't sell them in it. And I've never had one. They don't sell them in North America. And also, I wouldn't drink it anyways because I need to be able to sleep after this. But now, drop again, trying to find some value. Now Beyond looking to stim in. But there are 2 Colossus in a Dark Templar here. This is not a pushable position. There's a 3rd Colossus as well. So Beyond is just... He's desperately looking for value. Hey, Real Loco Durka, thank you so much for gifting a sub to Sasha, to Scarlet. Scarlet, now you can spam the Frodo emote all you want. Or, I don't know, Baneling Hugs. Baneling Hugs are important. I'm kind of sad no one uses that, but I guess it's too single use. We will see. We've talked about cleaning bots stopping orbitals from landing. How about DTs? DTs are going to lock... Oh, it's got to be able to run. Oh, last second it dies. Okay. So Command Center now will drop Beyond. I mean, his economy's in a decent spot. He's got 5 barracks. His enhanced shockwaves are on the way. His push is going to get started soon enough. But it seems like whatever happens in this game, or in this series, we cannot escape the mid to late game. Both players, every game in this series for the most part. I mean, I guess Crater did kind of kill Beyond fairly quickly in the last one. Not even. These players, they hit each other with these punches, but like a trained something master. Cornelius, Banelings do not need to get nerfed anymore. Maybe a +2, maybe +2 and +3 attack against probes. I think that I can get behind that, but everything else, Banelings have been nerfed enough. They're not nearly as good as they used to be. Okay, here comes the pressure coming in from Crater. Beyond these tanks are not yet sieged, but the Zealots They don't want to take this engagement just yet. Creator waffling. Now he's going to try to find his way in. These 4 Colossus are just shredding Byun here. But now the rest of the army is going to go down first. Colossus falls. There's no tech. There's no tech in this army anymore. But the Bio's got to run forward. And running around that wall like that, it is scary indeed. But Last Stalker dies. Byun's very happy with that trade. And Byun on the other side of the map, he's got 4 workers with this extremely low drop that has literally 1 HP left on it, but he's going to get another probe, 5 probes for a drop that Byun kind of forgot about. And certainly, Creator thought he had killed already. But now Byun, he's actually doing the thing where he builds the Vikings. This is useful. It seems like Byun has been avoiding, and this is actually just the way Byun plays for the most part. He kind of avoids Vikings. He says, I'm going to win with ghosts and bio and tanks and whatever else I want. Okay, this drop, there we go. Finally, he's going to find the Dark Shrine. We'll find the pylons. So no more Warp Ins from that position, no more Dark Shrine, no more DTs, which is actually kind of annoying because in the late game, you do eventually kind of want a Dark Shrine. Creator hasn't been playing like that necessarily, and the Blink DT nerf seems to have shifted that away a little bit. Now, Sasha will say that it didn't do anything at all, but I do feel like I see less Blink DT play in the late game versus Terran. Hey, Ponelius, congratulations on your new job. Enjoy your last night of freedom. And also, folks, as we got a reminder, the final big Stormgate reveal that I'll be able to take part in is happening Sunday, starting at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, which is noon 30 Pacific, with the PC Gamer Show. Don't know when that's going to happen, but Day9 is going to interview them. It's going to be awesome. DTs, though, one of the last DTs on the map, actually the last DT on the map, because now it's dead. They find a little bit more here, but now we have Creator posturing on the left side, and it's still a scary Colossus force. He's still on 4 Colossus, trying to punish Byun's just desire to never build Vikings. In fact, Byun has +1 air on the way, but he literally has 4 Vikings. So Byun, actually a big portion of his army is on the right side, looking to stim into the natural here. Tank's getting really good shots off. And that is going to be that. So Byun stimming into the natural here, knocking down the shield battery, knocking down the pylon. And this is going to force Creator to do some action. So he stims on in, Tank's shelling away. SCV is going to get pulled. Byun trying to keep his life alive, trying to make sure he can take this game. In fact, take the entire series. The Zealots, though, they are getting shredded. That being said, the SCVs all go down, 27 of them. Byun's army on this side of the map is going down, and now we're in what is, I think we can safely say, a true base trade. How many Colossus remain on the field? It is 3. The natural command center, the natural nexus, of Creator has died. Byun will be able to lift off, but now Creator into the natural. Into the natural is where he will go. He's going to try to camp the production of our Terran player, which is exactly what he's doing. Byun's not going to be able to build that much more. And Creator with that 30 army supply lead, SCV is going to get pulled away to try to maybe do something else another day. This is not going to be one of those games where you pick off a little bit here and there and eventually you beat the army. No, Byun, he has to win by elimination, and that just feels really spooky because that's a probe on the north side, so he's not going to be able to get on top of where the last building of Creator is all that easily. Because, again, this army that Creator has is really not something that Byun can fight all that well. Byun floating his way into a corner. Byun has knocked down most of the bases. Creator is still mining a little bit, though. 300 minerals, a little bit of gas. And +1 vehicle weapons did get denied there. Okay. So now Byun is going to stim into the natural. He's going to find most of the remaining probes, but there are a couple there are a couple across the map, which is really the scary thing. So Byun, he's got to find some way with this. This army is so damn red. And there's going to be a recall. Byun is actually, there's nothing Byun can do anymore. The Stalkers, the Colossus, they're going to shred everything. Byun's army supply is falling apart. And Byun, he gets out with nothing. 1 Marauder. Creator says, I'm assuming Creator's saying leave the game. Oh. Oh, that's right, because Byun had all of his buildings lifted. So he said, Creator, please prove that you can build something. So this doesn't go to a draw. All right, so what is going to happen in this game? Well, Double Gas says Byun is tired of these shenanigans, and he's going to do something aggressive in this game. I do appreciate, though. Byun is like, yeah, you can't build a Stargate. Not at all. Absolutely not. And of course, Creator drops the next. It's like, oh, there we go. That's proof. Even still, Bjorn hadn't gotten every Nexus, so Crater could have long distance mined long enough to make that happen. So I don't really know what the argument was. But anyways, Crater, he's going to have to scout out what's happening here because we're going to see, I think, a Widowmine drop again. We're going to see this Barracks Double Gas Factory idea that is so common in TVT. But it happens a little bit differently on this matchup. And I think this is fair because this is a map that it is really hard to break anyone. Much like Glittering Ashes, a little bit different in how it works, of course. But it is so damn hard to break the Core 4 with 3 levels of ramps. Now, I was really excited when, yes, the editor now supports 15 levels of ramps. Finally, we have a map with 4 levels of ramps. And it's like, it really does turtle things down. But it has given us some cool games. I think part of the reason that I'm maybe less enthusiastic about Pride of Altaris is the fact that we haven't seen a lot of games on it, so we haven't seen a lot of good games on it. We've seen some. Cure versus Ryung? No, that's not right. Cure versus Dream. Cure versus Dream in Katowice was actually an incredible game on this map to determine who qualified into the playoffs and who did not. So, we got to give the map credit where credit's due as the Reaper now returns because there is a probe there that is his getaway. And Crater, understanding that this is an aggressive play, he's sees how late the command center is. It's going to be a Stargate opener at home. So you're going to get a lot of Phoenix out as long as this is not a 3-Rex, which is not what this is. This is a tech-heavy opening from Bjorn. He just kind of left whatever Bjorn has, and you're very happy about it. So we're going to have to see if Bjorn can get any damage despite that, as Reaper's looking to find their way into the main base. But Depths are well positioned, so we're going to see one Reaper go down pretty much immediately. Oh, he targets the wrong one. Both Reapers get out. There we go. We're okay. And the Reapers in the main base now. Adepts are not in good position anymore. Of course, it takes 3 volleys to kill this off, but you lift one of them with a Phoenix, and that does make something happen. Second probe does go down. Does it make a third? Looks like that answer is going to be yes. Yes, the third one does go down. In fact, 4 total probes have died in this game. Probe is actually going to get pulled here. Now, the Reaper is going to get out as well. So Bjorn, the start of his campaign of terror in this game number 5, he's going to be very happy about it. Yes, Slick Will. Bjorn won a fantastic best of 3 against Hero. It will be going up on my YouTube soon. Towards the end of the week, I think, actually. So make sure to check it out there. And that time, it'll be in 4K, or you can watch the Twitch VOD. And those of you watching on Twitch or watching on YouTube, again, make sure you watch Hero Beyond. Beyond never fails to deliver in TVP. It was a fantastic series. Beyond and Heroes, their styles are so good. Okay, here come the triple Adepts coming in from Crater, of course, which does one-shot Marines. It does one-shot SCVs. So this is a little bit of a complication here, as with the Phoenix as well. Crater's been doing a lot of this, actually, and it's only been somewhat working for him. Is now, okay, the Marines are going to go down. We're not seeing really much of any damage on the Phoenix, so Marines, they're dead. Adepts are doing a damn fine job, but the repair is good. So that does certainly mean that the Cyclone is going to stay alive. The Vikings are going to try to knock things down. Phoenix, they die, or they stay alive, excuse me. But what is Bjorn doing? Because this was a tech-heavy opening. And looks like he wants to run across the map with 2 Vikings, 2 Cyclones, and kind of smash Crater with just this weird amalgamation of early game defensive tech. And it could work, because Crater just sacrificed a lot of his ground units. He's 4 Phoenix, and yes, technically, or not technically, Warp Gate is done, but that still is only 3 Warpins. But even still. Cyclones and Vikings are not the most consistent fighting unit. Ponelius, I will agree with you that I think Thors are, well, I don't know. They're on my personal chopping block, but in actuality, I don't think they're all that imbalanced. I just take issue with a 450 HP unit with heavy armor that also does as much DPS as a Thor at 3/3 or +3 attack, or as a DT. More DPS than a Dark Templar, actually, but you know, that's my personal crusade, and it really does not have a lot of merit. Okay, a couple additional barracks are on the way. Bjorn's not going to really have much of a timing here because he is, of course, going for 3rd base. This is a 3CC opening? Oh, weird build from Bjorn. But okay, now the Phoenix looking for a little bit of harass with the 5 of them here. And of course, we got to remember, this is not going to be Phoenix Charizard. In fact, there we go. We have Robobay on the way. Well, actually, just about done. Lock-ons are not going to kill any Phoenix, though. 5 SCVs die. We're not going to see any of that because this is Pride of Altaris. And while there are many bases where you can break a Terran's third, or break a Terran if they're trying to take their third, or even break their natural if there's no ramp, mass charge lots do just about nothing in this game. If you catch him in the middle of the map, sure, but Bjorn is playing this defensive style. He just doesn't want me to sleep tonight. He doesn't want Sasha to sleep. This is actually what he's doing. He says, I'm friends with Creator. I am going to play this last game so damn long that Sasha is not going to sleep, and it's going to give Creator a better opportunity to win his WTL match later today. I figured it out. I figured it out. We understand now. I love how long EPT Korea takes sometimes. Like, I'm not complaining. These games have been fantastic. But we're about 4 hours in to the actual EPT. I went live a little bit earlier for the Classic Beyond game, but we're about 4 hours into EPT right now with 19 players signing up. Exactly, 2-2-2. 2 Marine, 2 Cyclone, 2 Viking. Makes a lot of sense, Alexius. Thank you for explaining that to me. Okay, Beyond will have 1-1 here as timing out with Stim. This is just about the latest Stim I've seen in quite a while in TVP. But it works out because this is Pride of Altaris, and you can be greedy. So the question really is who blinks first in this game? Because, again, with Pride of Altaris, it's so hard to push into the third base. Who actually decides to get aggressive? And the answer now will be Beyond. His 1-1, his combat shields, Stim, all timing out at once. But do we have enough? We don't have enough anti-air to deal with 2 Colossus and 6 Vikings. So Beyond in the middle of the map, trying to make something happen. But he's got his 2-2 on the way pretty much immediately. He understands, really, that maybe his opponent missteps and steps out of the map, and Beyond can hit a big timing. But the army supplies are identical. And you're really not breaking this high ground position. Not with 3 Colossus, not with the Phoenix as well. So Beyond, he's posturing. He's looking to maybe find something. Maybe buy some room for a drop to happen eventually. But realistically, this game has a couple more minutes in it at the very least. Although Creator, though, he's getting some High Templar, building some Archons. Oh, no. Okay, no, he's going to get Storm. Interesting decision to get that second layer of Splash. Of course, if you're playing a PvT, you do want to have at least 2 layers of Splash. Sometimes we see 3, but that seems to be... that is complicated to control. And it almost seems like diminishing returns. Like, why would you get High Templar and Disruptors when you can just have Disruptors? Or just more Disruptors. And same vice versa, although, of course, Ghost's already out in the field. Enhanced Shockwave's not on the way just yet. Beyond's a little slow on that upgrade. But when Storm is being researched after High Templar or Ghost's already out on the map, it does feel a little bit awkward, but Creator did a great job. He did a fantastic job with the Storms in that last game to chase... or no, in the Hardwire game to chase Beyond down. So I can't say I hate the Storm decision, honestly. And he's going to get Disruptor. So we will have all 3 layers of Splash in this game. And, well, Creator, he's happy on his 4 bases. Beyond's taking the gold, though, and this is going to be a imperative to fight. This is just going to be an inflection point because Beyond will be mining so many more minerals on less workers than Creator is. Because, of course, Pride of Altaris has 8 mineral patches on the gold instead of 6. So you actually have you can put a full base's worth of SCVs on there, which means it's effectively a base and a half. It does complicate things a little bit. Okay, in the middle of the map here, Zealous are going to find stuff, but on the other side, Beyond's going to push that one back, and this is actually a really awkward position for both sides. Beyond has the vision, so he says, okay, I know where the Colossus are. I should be able to retreat from this in time. I should be able to hold the position. Not all that worrying. And his 2-2 is now just about done. In fact, the double forge was slightly later there for Creator, so Beyond will have a minor upgrade lead. In fact, Beyond, he's snowballed. He's exploded in his supply over the last minute. He's sitting here up about 30 army supply. But again, it's Pride of Altaris still, and it's hard for Beyond to do anything. We've seen less than 4,000 total resources lost in this game. As players, they're just not... they don't feel comfortable engaging. Because it feels like whoever engages, even more than a lot of maps, even because Defender's Advantage is a thing, feels like whoever engages does lose. But now with Creator now trying to take that gold base, it does mean that he's going to be forced to go on the low ground. EMPs just blanket this entire army, and that's a bit scary. 2 Disruptor shots of the three do go out. Good feedback there on the Raven as the High Templar runs forward. And there we go. Storm on the Vikings here. That's a little bit scary. Splits from Bjorn are decent. And it does look like he will be able to wedge his way in now onto the gold. So the gold base does down. Creator still has the upper right side. So from that perspective, he's still in a decent base count. Does not have the gold. Bjorn does. That is always, of course, going to be scary. Also, remember, Bjorn was late on his shockwaves. So he will not be able to blanket the army quite as easily, get quite as easy cancels on Storm. Of course, Bjorn knows Storm is here as well. And there we go. So good EMPs on top of some of these. Yeah, there we go. Some of these High Templar. Army goes on forward. Looks like Disruptor gets a good shot. Now Bjorn stimming backwards, actually, because the Disruptors are doing a good job zoning. And, well, that's going to be that. But Bjorn, he airlifts part of his, actually, his Vikings. He's just trying to hunt down some Colossus. Only one remains. Don't know where it is, but now Bjorn's stimming up as well. He's going to eat a big Storm, a second one as well. This is a bit awkward here for Bjorn, but at the end of the day, it seems like it's going pretty damn well for him. The one Colossus that remains is going to try to make something happen. High Templars coming in as well, looking for those Storm flanks as we have snipes going down to the High Templars on the right side. But there we go. That's the big Storm, but Bjorn stims on top and gets the Colossus on down. And he knocks down all the tech of this. He gets that last Disruptor as well. There we go, before picking up, going home. Bjorn. Okay, he's just going to sacrifice the Ghost. So this seems like it was a fantastic trade there for Bjorn at the end of things. Weird kind of fight, sending the Vikings in specifically to hunt down the Colossus, which worked out for him very well. But the Storms did a great job, so Bjorn couldn't end the game with that. But he still is up 20 supply. He's mining off the gold, so he's just mining more. And now here comes a bunch of Stalkers, which, I mean, into Liberators, sure, you're going to siege up fine, but not well enough. And certainly Liberator range is not here just yet. But the bio underneath does mean the Stalkers cannot take that fight. So it's kind of a interesting fight. In fact, that's what resources lost. We do see there, Creator, he kind of spiked up for a moment, and now he kind of settled back down to 2,500 in Bjorn's favor. So not the end of the world, but certainly a nice fight. Good job resetting the upgrades a little bit. Okay, 3-3 on the way now. +1 air attack, eventually moving to +2, which, of course, with the Ghost means you one-shot Stalkers. It really is that inflection point where it feels like it's really hard for the Protoss player to fight after that point, unless they have that Sky transition. But now Creator getting active on the map. He's down about 15 army supply. Like, nothing really, not a biggest of deals. Certainly when Disruptors can sway things pretty nicely. As Bjorn now heals the Xel'Naga Tower, so at least he knows what's happening in the middle of the map. Is, again, Creator trying to take the gold. Bjorn, of course, getting himself set up for more bases as well. And we talked about that carrier transition. Well, it's on the way. No +1 just yet, but he is adding carriers as now the army runs forward of Creator. Bjorn is actually going to run forward, but he's got to be careful. Where the Disruptors are, Bjorn does not necessarily want to be, but he's going to... Oh, the Disruptors, they're just not paying attention. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They all go down. The second shots are just not going to get much of anything, and now Bjorn's stimming forward because the harassment was a problem. Storm zoning... don't mean to hit that. Sorry, folks. The Storm is zoning, but it's not really getting all that much, and I don't think there's much more Storms in this army. We're going to have to see the carriers get revealed, and the question is whether they will be enough, because now Bjorn moving on, and it's just a bunch of gateway units, not really all that impressive, but still this army of Bjorn is pretty damn overstimmed. So, the Disruptors are doing a great job. The Liberators are zoning off a lot of this, but I don't think Bjorn's going to be able to cut through all the Interceptors just yet. In fact, he's going to have to run on home, and it looks scary. It looked like Bjorn was going to be able to pin Creator down on a base, maybe even get a base. But you have those Interceptors, you have the carriers get revealed, and suddenly it just got a lot scarier there for Bjorn. He was forced to run on backwards, and now he's got a siege up at home. Now we have missile turrets on the way, because this timing that Creator has hit with 3 carriers is actually a terrifying one. And starting to get a little closer there for Creator as well, because Bjorn, he kind of overextended, but now the Stalkers run forward. They're not really getting much. In fact, it's really not all that great. Biostim forward, getting another Disruptor. Bjorn is just the Disruptor sniper. He's going to target another one, and a third! Oh, he gets it last second. Oh, whew. That is so scary when Bjorn does that, more than anyone else. He limit tests, and sometimes he's right and sometimes he's wrong, and he really has been mostly right tonight, so I don't even know I can continue that train of thought, but oof, scary indeed. So Bjorn, he has his, what is that, his 6th base on the way on the right side. We're starting to slowly get to the point where the bases are harder to take. Bjorn has 1 more high ground base. I'm surprised we don't have bonuses to air attack for Creator in this game. No +1, no +2, because +3 carriers are almost the timing you're looking for, and we're not there yet. I mean, Crater's not even started that timer. He has a lot of money. Yeah, Beyond's mining a little bit more minerals, but mules are the thing. And Crater is pretty well on base count. He's on 6 bases. He has a lot of gas. He's mining 1,500 gas a minute. He can afford these upgrades. But he says, I'd rather build other things. Dark Shrine. And there we go. Okay, there's +1 air attack on the way. As Beyond, of course, gets his +2 getting started. And because of this pretty heavy mineral advantage that Beyond has, he is just littering the map with missile turrets. He's just freeing. He's just littering the map. He's going to slow push, I guess, onto the other side of the map. He says, eventually, I'm going to be able to siege up your gold base with my missile turrets. And it's going to be spooky here for your Crater. It's going to take a while, though. At least for now, Beyond is going to have a position that is really hard for the carriers to fight through, that he will be able to retreat back from. Okay, so now Beyond, there we go, the next line of missile turrets. This is actually really cool. I haven't seen this slow missile turret push as a response to this before. Yeah, Scarlet, time to camp. Oh, good EMPs there, so no storms as the bio runs forward. That's just going to be some Deadeye Templar. That's expensive in the gas count. Sasha, I know you said time to camp. How do you feel about this? This is actually, it's spicy. It's kind of fun. It's like a Zerg spreading creep, except it's a creep you have to buy. And they're missile turrets, and they shoot up, and they actually do damage. And they provide detection, but I don't really think that's the relevant component of this right now. You can't get a, you cannot get an observer close. So one missile turret will go down, but there are plenty more where that came from as Biostims forward. Good storm, but still the disruptors, they do fall. Vikings are actually just dying. But we got to remember, this is not a position that there is any, okay, I'm not sure what that barracks is for. There's not a position that really, that Crater can take a fight into whatsoever. So now Beyond running forward, blanketing this entire army with EMPs, and they are disgusting. And he baits out a couple of interceptors. He kills them off. And now Crater trying to circumnavigate, but the missile turrets are everywhere. You cannot escape them. You cannot find a position. Well, actually, no, Crater has, because there's not a lot of stack defense outside of this base. In fact, I think Beyond is just going to lose this planetary. Steel plating, sure, is fantastic, and building armor, but that is just going to go down. We're going to see Beyond, though, trying to knock down the gold base, but DTs defensively are doing a damn fine job here, but before the scan does knock them down. Carriers defensively also a wonderful thing as Beyond, he rotates over. Beyond did lose the planetary, but he's still mining okay. It's not incredible. He's starting to mine out in some of those core bases, but he can take a base on the bottom side and be really happy with it. His Stalkers run forward, getting another, I think they got a ghost there. But now here come the Liberators once again. We do have Liberator range, by the way, so that makes it a little bit harder for the ground toss to fight. But the style that Beyond is playing, and I think he started to realize that he needs to play a more anti-carrier style. He can't do the thing that he did on Glittering because there's just so much money on this map. Gold base means that you cannot just knock down all the interceptors over and over again. They almost are free. So with the Vikings 7 at a time, +2 air attack done, +1 shields, or +1 armor done as well. Well, these Vikings are going to get pretty scary here, especially because we only have +1 air attack for Crater, as Beyond does knock the gold base down, mitigating some of that resources loss differential as Vikings on the other side. EMPs knock down the storm, so that's not really going to happen. But Beyond, he's going to struggle to find his way on the high ground. Actually, that being said, there's no splash, so he's actually not really all that scared. Vikings are going to knock down a free carrier. Beyond finding his way on forward once again, a second carrier falls. Archons are not really where they need to be. Now they are. That's a bit of juicier of a shot. But Beyond stims on in. But so many of those carriers just went down. Now it's only 5, only 6. Now Vikings again knocking down another carrier here. Now we do need to see repairs. We do need to see repairs on this. Vikings are getting rather low, but Beyond there's a lot of this army that he can pretty easily kill. More carriers continue to fall. Beyond microing backwards to this position that is safe with the Liberators, and he's just ripping Crater apart. He's ripping this army apart. Crater cannot take the fight he wants. Really, so the Vikings, they run forward, and they are very low, so I do want to see, honestly, Beyond just drop a mule or two and repair this, or bring some SCVs forward, whatever it is. These Vikings are expensive, and you do want to repair them. But Crater has been shoved off of this position. He's going to find his way onto the north side base. Meanwhile, of course, Crater taking both, what do we want to call it, the 2 o'clock and the 9 o'clock base. So he has pretty much every base that he can reasonably be expected to take. As a fight kicking off again on the north side. Good Liberator siege up here as the Archons, they run forward, but the Bio is kind of dying for Beyond. He can't really take that fight necessarily, and Liberators do fall as well, so it's something. This game's not going to end for another 20 more minutes. I'm going to go to bed at 4 a.m. and the birds are going to chirp and I'm going to be sad. Now the Stalker's found a little bit more position. Zealot's actually into this third base that really only matters for map control and mules, and really not all that much else. Not really all that much. In fact, Beyond is walling off his own mining with the Starport. That's kind of how little he cares about that one. But what this means, the Zealots forcing Beyond's army back a little bit, is suddenly that, well, a lot of these missile turrets can start to go down. And we're going to start to see resource lost. Well, actually, yeah, it's going to start to drop down a little bit more, which is always going to be fun. This is so many minerals right now as the Vikings run on forward. But again, they're so low. I do want to see Beyond repair this. I know I've said that, but I'm going to say it again. These Stalkers, though, they cannot take this fight. Okay, Beyond rotating over to this base, but there's actually not a lot of defense. We have one High Templar, but it actually does not have a Storm. The Colossus is still alive from earlier, I guess. It's going to go down pretty damn quickly. Good recall, though, is carriers actually, wait, those are some very exposed carriers. Beyond is going to go off on a hunting mission there. Good Storms, though, on the Vikings, and this is where things start to get complicated. One carrier does fall. Beyond micring backwards to the safety of his missile turrets, but I'm not sure he can win the ground battle. Really, the air battle, fine, sure, okay, but the ground battle's a little bit scary. Disruptor shots are starting to fall, though, or Disruptors are starting to fall. Archons, they're all out of energy for the most part, but the Viking count has fallen. The Viking count is now in the dirt. It's a lot harder now for Beyond to fight these carriers, but we don't have a lot of interceptors. It's only 9. If Beyond had enough bio, he could stim right through this, but he doesn't. Not yet. Not enough healing on this, so now Beyond is going to run on forward once again, and we have 5 interceptors out on the map at a time. Beyond his bank, though, has been spent, and not true for Creator. Now the Stalker going forward, trying to get something. They don't really get much of anything here. But it's funny. Beyond is mining so many more minerals. Creator mining so many more gas. So much more gas. As that's going to be a free Liberator, I guess. Yeah, sure. Yeah, harass the carrier. That's fine. So Beyond scans out the 3 o'clock base. It's like, okay, I probably need to deal with that one. So he's going to ship a Liberator on out to that position. I guess he doesn't feel like right now that he can segment off enough bio to go kill a base. Because certainly we do know that recall is on cooldown, so that is something that he can maybe make happen, but he's going to get the gold. That's just step. DT defensively, but Beyond has EMPs, Beyond has scans. Yeah, the DT does not get all that much done, so we see production go down, but this buys time now for Creator. He's going to find a far more important base. This is where Beyond has been muling. On the bottom left, it's the freshest base that Beyond has. So yeah, you'll gladly trade a gold that you're kind of starting to mine out of for actually 2 bases here of Beyond, because Beyond is not where he needs to be defensively on this one, and this is not a base that Beyond's going to be able to hold really all that well. Stalker's pulling forward, and Beyond is going to try to rotate over, but actually, you know what, with Neo Steel plating, with armor, with building armor, and high-tech auto-tracking, actually, the Planetary is doing a damn fine job. Beyond, he thinks he's got Creator out of position here. Does he, though? He's actually not. But Vikings, they have rejoined the battlefield. The carriers are starting to get popped on down. One carrier will fall. Second one starting to fall here. Good Storms, though, on the bio. Oh, so many of the Marines are falling. Beyond, he micros back through it. But still, Beyond builds himself an army supply lead. Beyond building himself a bank once again. That's true, Scarlet. That's true, Sasha. Big problem is I need to get better blackout curtains because the sun has been waking me up in these northern latitudes. Okay, so Beyond will get this base on the right side. He's denied all mining from it. 37 workers have gone down. Beyond lost 1 base. He did not lose the second, but his SCV count is okay. 60 workers is pretty fine at this point. The question, though, we always ask ourselves is, in this game state where the economy's starting to get a little weird, can you beat the army? That's really the important question. EPs are going to blanket everything as now the Stalkers run forward. Creator, he's trying to make something happen here. Disruptor shots are not going to be incredible. Beyond with a damn fine splits, and because of all the missile turrets, it actually is really hard for Creator to take this fight, so now he's going to try to chase things down with the Vikings in the sky. Good Storms. Actually, no, it's not. It absolutely misses. Nice try there from Creator. He's going to get all the missile turrets down, or the Disruptors. Beyond is, now the carriers are starting to fall. We're only on 6 interceptors here. Beyond thinks he's punched on through. He thinks he's finally done it in 26 minutes here. The army, the complexity of Creator is all gone. Nothing really to defend the carriers anymore. And finally, man, what a marathon of a series. Beyond, he takes it. 3-2.